Okay, welcome back to Dubster Dive. We're taking a look at something else's English dub. And you're back, Di.
You lied to me. You said this was Mignogna March. Not ADV March.
I mean, the Heikoisen was Sentai. It's completely different.
Oh, you mean Sentai, what ADV would become. So ADV... Light.
Okay, to be fair, it's just a coincidence that this turned into ADV March, I guess.
But not a coincidence that you said that.
Nope. So yes, this time we're covering Full Metal Panic, a series that I'm pretty sure everyone at this point has at least heard of, even if you haven't seen it. I'm sure you've at least heard of it somewhere, especially in the mid-2000s when the series was definitely at its peak in popularity.
Or if you're on any app and type in Full and/or Metal, you look at this and the same search results as FMA.
Yeah, I could only imagine how many people were confused because this came out in the States around the same time as FMA. I would only imagine. Especially when both have a blonde-haired dude voiced by Vic. I mean, at that point, it's just silly. But yeah, so Full Metal Panic is a series of light novels written by Shoji Gato, who's the creator of Copcraft and Amagi Brilliant Park. Kind of covered that last year if you're interested. It was okay, I guess. And illustrated by Shiki in the year 2000. With an anime coming out in 2002 by Gunzo. And remember the last time we covered a Gunzo show together, Di? An alien got anal probed. We're referring to Hellsing. If y'all haven't seen us cover that, you know, that's another one you could watch.
Incognito, indeed.
I mean, hey, they also did Rosaria Vampire. How has it been this long without a season 3 of that? All the other research... Actually, this show needs a full remake. Seriously. Anyway, ADV would get the license to FMP, as well as its spin-off, We'll Get There, in 2003...
Or the best season of FMP, as people know it.
Yeah, again, we'll get there. But yeah, of course, you all know what happened. ADV died, then Funimation will get the rights to the FMP IP. God, even I did it. In 2009.
I mean, why not both?
Yeah, they got it in 2009, and then Funny died, and I guess it's in the hands of Crunchyroll, ? I don't even know because, yeah, Crunchyroll's been scrubbing a lot of their Blu-rays lately to the point of shit tons of them being out of print. Looking at you, Heroic Legend of Arslan.
In fact, when you talk about it, I can go check the Crunchy app right now and see if it's even fucking on there in any capacity.
Yeah. So, while he's doing that, FMP, Full Metal Panic, follows a group of soldiers. Our main squad works for an organization called Mithril, or Mithril, as they sometimes pronounce it, back and forth. Yes, one of those dubs. Which is basically a black ops group that specializes in doing... Yeah, they do elite government agents shit. You know, basically like solving issues between countries that would avoid international incidents, as well as other stuff that can't go public. You all know the type. Think Metal Gear Solid with fuck sound. Kind of like that, I guess. And...
I guess they do, for now.
Well, they have the streaming license. That's different than physical distribution rights. But yeah, so... the mission that we start off with is our main man, Sosuke Sagara, is charged with protecting a teenage girl named Kaname Chidori, who is known as one of the Whispered, though she doesn't know it yet. The Whispered, the best way to put it is, I guess they can look at a piece of tech and understand everything about it, its weaknesses, what goes into making it and everything, by, what is it, seeing images in their head?
Yeah, seeing images of a Windows 98 screensaver.
Yeah. Again, she
I'm not
doesn't
making
know.
that part up.
Yeah, she doesn't know about it, like how or anything like that. In fact, at the beginning, she has no control over when it activates. It just starts up on its own, more or less, when she looks at a piece of tech, military tech.
It just works.
And she's being targeted by the KGB and other groups that might have an interest in the Whispered because, well, you know, if you have someone that can see any piece of tech, that means you could find the weaknesses of enemy countries.
Technology.
Yeah. So Sosuke and his squad they're charged with protecting her by also using mech suits and stuff. Because this is in the early 2000s when the mech craze was still going strong. And FMP is one of those series that pays a lot of homage to mechas of the time. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Whispered were supposed to be an homage to the next types from Gundam. Kind of a similar thing, right? You know, humans that have higher understanding of technology and shit, sort of.
I guess.
Yeah. Except that the script is flipped, where instead of the pilot being the one, it's the support coon. Because, yeah, I know, shocker.
Supports.
Yeah, she's got to support Sosuke during fights. He also has to enroll at her school and go incognito as a student in her class and stuff. And because Sosuke is a military soldier through and through, raised as a child soldier, in fact, he doesn't know how to interact with civs very well. So when they're at the school, rom-com shenanigans ensue. Until shit gets real. That's the basic plot synopsis, though. They've got to stop terroristic threats from abducting Kaname. Other country shit gets real later on, too, with terrorist stuff.
For real?
For real, man! And between arcs, you have cooldown episodes at the school where Sosuke still has to stay incognito protecting her. And, yeah. Oh. I mean, that is one thing I saw people bring up. We were talking about it, right? How some people think sometimes the tone shift is a little jarring from the cooldown episodes being rom-com, typical slice-of-life, generic shit. Or, well, not really, you know what I mean. To high-octane mecha action, shooting guns at terrorists and stuff. And even dealing with PTSD from Sosuke being in a war and shit.
Yeah.
I think if they had to do both, I do agree with what people have said online. This is the best season at blending the two together, or the two together. Because at least after the first arc, they try keeping them separate, with the school stuff being between arcs, and that's it. But yeah. And spoilers, going forward, they do keep them separate more or less all the time. The spin-off follows the school life, while the main series follows the militaristic shit.
In fact, it splits them up so much, it turns them up to 11.
Yeah. Which I think was the best, smartest move after Season 1 when everything was established, personally. That way both sides of the fandom would be satisfied. That's enough of the plot. I guess let's get into our characters and break them down with the Dubster. But first, can't believe I almost forgot to do this. Style animation! Hit it.
Yes.
I mean, it's 2002 and it's Gunzo.
Honestly, even the CG looks better than most modern shitty anime.
So you're saying it looks better than Dean?
Okay, we wouldn't even have to try to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. The animation's good. But, so no complaints there, I guess. From what you're saying, at least. I mean, do you like the mecha designs? You even got a mech called Venom!
I mean, they're kind of basic.
Yeah.
I don't think they were trying to go for anything overly designed.
No, again, this is outside of the mechs and maybe the Whispered, which, you know, are genetically altered humans or whatever. It's still grounded, more or less, in our world compared to other over-the-top crazy mecha shit. Yeah. As far as the OST goes, you get the A-Team theme. Kind of. Yeah,
I mean, they said that's literally what they were going for.
Yeah, and they
More or
were
less.
really fucking proud of it too. They spam it a lot, including different versions of it, like it on the piano, like a fast version of it, a slow version of it. Like, holy shit. I mean, I like the song. It's a decent interpretation of like, oh, let's do our own version of the theme. But they spam it a lot, man. I mean, the rest of the OST is okay. I'm trying to think of anything that really stands out to me. Not much. Nothing bad. Just, it's all good. Why don't you add that theme to your playlist? The A-Team theme. All versions of it.
I'm good.
Oh. Okay, but now for the real reasons. No more stalling. The reason it's called Dubster Live. So first, ADR directors were Don Rush and Kyle Colby Jones. Kyle is still working today, actually. Pretty sure he's still ADR directing Don Machi. With scripts by...
As far as you know.
Oh, Jesus, script writers. Okay, I'm gonna try. Masumi McLeod and Mike, Yantiska. What a fucking name, dude. So, yeah. And... I mean, you get some fun-ass lines with the script. They clearly went all over the place.
And then some lines you're like, wait, what? The fuck did you just say?
Yeah, so... the mechs in this are called AS. That's their initials or whatever. I don't even remember what they stand for, actually, off the top of my head. Fuck! But yeah, they're called ASs. And there's literally a guy who says, I'll show you everything from AS, from A to Z, as a pickup line when he's hitting on a chick.
Damn it, Charlie Nash.
Yeah, it was Jay Hickman that said it. That was his character. He did a one-off episode. But yeah, they also made the line.
He also looks like Charlie Nash.
Yeah, they also like,
real,
let's kick some
AS. Yeah.
Let's kick some AS instead of let's kick some ass. So.
Yeah, they definitely had some stuff with this script.
Yeah, and I don't mind it. Sagara, or Sosuke Sagara's voice actor, Chris Patton, said that one of his favorite lines when he first joined the school was in a background character saying, hey, what job do we have him do on this school trip? And an ad voice says, let's make him trash, bitch. So, you know what to expect. It's fun times. Again, the script also knows when to be serious.
Typical ADV affair.
Yeah.
Or Sentai. Or whatever you want to call them at this point.
I think it does a good job of knowing when to be serious, too, when they have the war shit going on. So, at least they didn't go overboard with the fucks and cunts and dicks.
As far as you know, there's still 3 seasons left.
Well, yeah, so Sosuke Sagara is voiced by Chris Patton, who's Greed from FMA, Creed from Black Cat, and Spectre from Baccano.
You had a thing going, come on.
Fine, he's Dexter Reynolds from Case Closed. Because that's being dubbed out of LA now, I'm not even sure what season that character's from. Yeah. So, fuck if I know. And yeah, Chris Patton's fucking great. You could tell he absolutely loves this role. I mean, would you not die?
Yes. He tells you how to really make use of a condom.
Yeah, so when they're trying to get him prepped for going incognito, he's like, why is this here? And they're like, do you know what this is? And he goes, of course I do. It's a condom. I've had to use one before. Really? Yeah. When I was trapped in the jungle with no supplies, did you know a condom can hold up to a liter of water? One of Chris Patton's favorite lines in all of Season 1, by the way. Chris Patton would also go on the record to say this was the first voice role he had that he genuinely started getting attached to, which he also admits is probably because he had to voice him for 3 seasons before it went on hiatus. So that might have something to do with it.
And then randomly just came back out of nowhere, and then died again.
Yeah. But, again, Sosuke is a great protag because he's militant to a fault, where he's like, I follow my orders, it's my mission. But when Kaname is like, why do you keep following me? It's like, I'm not, it's just a coincidence. That's literally his catchphrase for everything when he gets questioned on it. Like, what the hell? How come you followed me onto this train? Etc. And when there's serious shit going down, Chris Patton has to do the patented Chris Patton screaming on top of his lungs, shouting when shit's getting real. You know, die when his squad's in danger near the end and stuff. He's blaming himself.
All the time?
Exactly. So yeah, Sosuke's a really fun character. He's not your typical generic protag or whatever. You do get a lot of fun with him. Well, I think my favorite part was when they were teaching him how to do a dating sim. Like, they were having him play a dating sim. So basically, like, if he ever had to go on a date, he'd know what to do. And in the background, you hear the woman cussing him out in the game. And they're like, what did you tell her? What did you do? And he's like, well, she told me she wanted to go shopping for a swimsuit with her. I told her to go do it herself. I'm no good at picking out clothing like that. It's like, oh my god, dude. And he genuinely doesn't know what he did wrong. That's the best part about it. He doesn't think he's doing anything wrong because he doesn't understand. He's not doing it to be a dick. That's what makes it work so well.
It just works.
Yeah. And again, he's a really competent fucking soldier, too. Like, when their fighting does start, he can hold his own. So it's not like he's just, you know, I guess you'd call it a goofball that doesn't know what the hell he's doing. It's just that's all he thinks about is military shit, because that's what he was raised for. But enough about him. We got plenty of other characters to get through that we're going to gush over, I'm sure.
Plenty of other characters.
Plenty. A plethora, if you will. So next we have Kaname Chidori, which is spelled Chidori. Yeah, I watched this after I was done marathoning a bit of Naruto, so you know immediately what I thought. Also, Kaname is Tosen's first name in Bleach.
No, she's not a bird. Stop thinking of Chidori.
Well, she is voiced by Lucy Christian, Uraraka from MHA, and Trancy from Black Butler. That is a cute woman. Wait, that's a guy? Anyway, yeah, so Lucy Christian actually said this was her first major role. That before this she did a couple one-off characters and, you know, ad voices and stuff like that. And all things considered, I think she did a really good job with Kaname. Kaname's, do you guys like tsunderes? Do you
I've
like
never
tsunderes?
heard of them.
She's never voiced a tsundere before, or shan't.
The fuck's a tsundere?
Damn it, text-to-speech. Now, I did see some people say that in the beginning. She came across a little too mean to Sosuke. Yeah. I can sort of see that, but she does mellow out by around the halfway point, because, you know, she actually develops.
I mean, also in the beginning, there are a lot of questionable logic decisions made by almost every character.
Yeah, because the series is trying to find its footing, to be fair. So, it's sort of understandable. And also, in all fairness to her, Sosuke is a dumbass when it comes to dealing with people. So when he actually fucks up, like, say, her school project or something, you can understand her being a little pissed. Especially when it's like his second day there and he charges into her school sculpture or whatever, thinking it's a terrorist.
Yeah.
That genuinely happens.
He was just using a smoke screen, so they got the papers incognito.
But yeah.
And now they're all wet.
Either way, she did a great job voicing her. Kaname also has her sweet moments with Sosuke, too. I mean, it's not like this is totally going to be the ship. What are you talking about? Have you guys never seen a harem before? Or,
don't you mean Sasuke?
We'll get to that. As far as Lucy's favorite part for this season, it's in the scene where Sosuke says that he lost her notebook, and she gets extremely pissed off at him. She also says this scene took specifically 50 takes to nail. So... yeah.
There were 50 of them.
I mean, hey, she thought she wouldn't get the role after auditioning, thinking that she sucked, but little did she know that not only would she get the role, but believe it or not, Mike McFarlane would hear this dub and thought she did such a good job, he would call her up and have her start working at Funny. Yeah, no joke. She only got her job at Funny because she landed Kaname. So, that's something too, I guess. But yeah, I think she did a great job. I mean, she's still a worse girl, though, right, Di?
Yeah, that is an opinion to have, if you like to be wrong.
Nah, she's a likable character. I don't mind her. She's fine. But moving on from her, we have the other squad mates with Sosuke. First, we have Melissa Mao, who's their squad leader, voiced by Alison Keith Shipp, Misato from Ava and Jellyfish, and Leone from Akame ga Kill. You know Misato from Ava? It's the same fucking character. She likes getting drunk, a pseudo party girl when she's not on the job, but knows when to be serious and actually do shit correctly.
For serious?
Exactly. So, yeah. And she's a fun character. Again, Alison also did a great job. I couldn't find much on her
the
thoughts.
5 people she actually voices.
Yeah, I couldn't find much on when trying to pull up what her thoughts were on this because most of her interviews were about fucking Ava. It's like, well, I guess it's the same character more or less. So, again, I'm sure something out there exists, but
the same thoughts apply to both characters.
Yeah. And she's a competent squad captain, so no complaints. After her, we have the last member of their squad, Kurtz, voiced by our man Vic Mignogna here. And Kurtz is, well, he's a man whore. He loves being pervacious, flirting with everyone, and yeah.
Yeah, they should have just named him Elvis.
You! I get it. Oh, you mean Elvis from Rio Rainbow Gate? You're not talking about me. Oh!
Exactly! Not much.
I don't know, he calls all them babe, too. It's like, Keith, you're talking, babe, but I'd have you clawing my back asking for more. He says this to Mal, again, his commanding officer, and she beats the shit out of him. And he's like, I'm sorry
about that, babe.
Yeah. So whenever he does step too out of line, you know, he does get punished for it. But also, he's a fun character. He knows when to be serious, too. He's the sniper of the group. Something I could never be. Funnily enough, Vic said he auditioned for Sosuke when the auditions were open for this, because he even said, he's like, I mean, when auditions are open, you're most likely going to go for the main character, right? It's going to give you the most work and exposure. But yeah, he got Kurtz instead, which I think that is much for the best. I think you do too.
Much for the best?
Yep, we're getting a lot of my quotes this time. Nope, I'm sticking with it. I think that's a much better pick.
His lines were written by ADV. I can't help.
Exactly. But no, I think that was for the best, honestly. I mean, he agrees. He even said, like, at the beginning, he's like, oh, I got Kurtz. Who the hell is this dude, more or less? And then by the time they were done with the show, he ended up liking Kurtz a lot more as a character, thinking he had a way more fun personality. So...
No, you mean he likes a character that he voices all the time, really, if you look at it?
Yeah. I mean,
how many of his characters
look at Kensei. Yeah, Kensei and Kenichi is just an elderly version of Kurtz. Are you going to say that's not true?
Yeah.
But yeah, Kurtz is a great character. Again, he's pervy, but also he knows when to be serious. Like when Sosuke is out of line saying something he shouldn't, Kurtz will actually put him in his place. But dude, what the fuck? And there's a scene where you get to hear him talk drunk, too. So there's that.
And I'm sure there's more of that coming soon. Eventually.
I think one of the best scenes, though, was when he runs into Kaname and her friend. We'll get to her friend in a minute, don't worry. And you remember, right, when he's like, hello, I foreign boy. Like lost little kitty, I am lost kitten. Please help me, I from foreign land. It's like, oh my god, dude, I
And that was in episode 2.
It was fucking great, dude. And even Mal's listening at it, she's like, oh my god, what the hell is he doing? Oh, man. It's fucking great. Kurtz is probably my favorite character, honestly. But yeah. After him, we have the captain of their HQ, which is a submarine called the... Oh, God, I can't even pronounce this. Hyakun Don, some shit. I can't pronounce it. I really can't.
Byakugan?
Byakujigan, sure. Anyway, the captain of their ship is named Testarossa, or Tessa, aka Best Girl, right, Di?
Yeah, if you like being wrong.
Voiced by Hilary Hegg, who we've never covered here before, especially in a Sentai dub or ADV dub. What are you talking about?
What is sarcasm?
Riku from DN Angel, Riku from Don Machi, Sagari from Kiba. I don't know anything about that series.
Really, Luca?
Damn it, I hate you. Yeah. And, again, Tessa's, she knows when to be serious, but she also knows when to mess around with Sosuke. Like, there's a scene where Sosuke's talking to her when she just got out of the shower, so you all have seen a rom-com in the last 30 years, I'm sure, if you're a fan of anime in any regard. If not, then watching this video, why? This is weird. But jokes aside...
I hate anime. I'm gonna watch this anime-related video.
Yeah, so he's talking to her when she got out of the shower and is in a towel. Kaname walks in. You all know the rom-com shit. It's like, no, she's my commanding officer. I'm serious. And she's like, really? Prove it. He's like, please, Captain Tessa, tell her. Just like, well, you see, yeah, I'm like his captain and all. Like, she's acting all nonchalant and stupid just to fuck with him.
Which isn't too far off the mark. I mean, what?
But yeah, Tessa also knows when to be serious and take charge and make harsh orders when needed to, even if she doesn't want to. So, and again, of course, you're gonna have a teenage woman commanding an entire operation and military force. It's an anime. As silly as it sounds.
What do you live under the fattest rock?
But yeah, as far as Hilary's thoughts on the characters, she said it was fun voicing a bossy captain because getting to boss the other characters around was fun. Typical woman! I mean, anyways. But yeah, she did great as Tessa. I mean, after all, Tessa's Best Girl.
Said no one ever.
But now we have the two officers that work with her. First is Kalinin, who's, I guess, the second in command. And he's the one that everyone would assume would be the commander of the force. You know, he's the typical old military man, who for some reason I got in my head was voiced by Jason Douglas for the longest fucking time. What, you understand why, right? Because he always gets typecasted as these?
Yeah. Little did you know, he would just voice a one-off character instead.
Yeah, Kalinin is instead voiced by Mike Kleinheads, who we covered here recently as one of the voices of Bison, possibly, in the Street Fighter II ADV dub, and also Dhalsim in that dub. He's also the Raven in Princess Tutu. I heard that show is drugs.
They're right up your alley.
And again, he does fine. Like, some of his lines I almost did confuse for Jason Douglas. You could ask him. I was like, was that Jason? You're like, what? No, that was Commander Man. Or Kalinin, whatever the fuck. You can't blame me, man.
I can, I didn't, wait.
The last one is her Yes Man, who's on the main cast list. At least the last one on their team. Mardukas, I don't know why he's on the main cast list. He's barely there and barely talks. Oh, it's like, yes, Madam Captain. It's
another person you would assume is the commander over her.
Yeah. He's voiced by Andy McCavin, Aeon from Chrono Crusade, and McGregor from Orphan. Revenge! Revenge! And he does fine, I guess. He also voices the computer and Sosuke's AS.
Beep
So,
boop.
yeah. Okay. Now, for our main villain, who won't stay away or die, and they can't even get his name right.
A man of many names.
So I think his name is actually pronounced Garin, but sometimes they call him Gurin, sometimes they call him Gowrin. I don't even think they know.
Garm?
Yes. And Garin is, he's an over-the-top terrorist coon. He's a mercenary that takes odd jobs to, you know, do dirty work. Like assassinations and shit.
He also requires you to take some suspension of disbelief, because you have to, you really, if you think about it, how do these people keep working with him when he keeps betraying everyone he works with?
Yeah, he must, I honestly, if there was like a prequel series that shows his exploits, I'd watch it just to see, like, how the fuck did he get his reputation of being such a good assassin or whatever, when it's like, oh, so you want to alter the deal with me? Okay, shoots him in the face. I think one of my favorite parts, though, is when he gets broken out of a jail thing, and, you know, the guy's like, okay, I've got the gun, you're not going to tell me what to do, and Garin takes the gun from his hand and aims it at his dick. It's like, are you sure you want to try telling me what to do?
Like, he's a master of words, apparently.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So Garin is voiced by Mike McRae. Got a lot of mics on this cast list. Takeda from Diamond Daydreams, and Dokuka Kuchi from Sayuki. Yeah, don't ask. That name is really long. I'm gonna butcher. I probably butchered that, even though I'm a massive Sayuki fan. Don't worry, it's all good. I didn't have a stroke.
That's no good.
But honestly, I think he's really good in this fucking dubcast too. Because whenever Garin's on screen, as much as we meme about, like, holy shit, how much shit can you take, man? He's a fun antag to watch, in my opinion.
Didn't you die last week?
Dude, he is a fun antag to watch, though. He really is. I feel like they kept bringing him back because of how popular he probably was with the light novels.
Yeah, but no joke, he does seem like he has died like 5 times over.
He does. But I can't, it's one of those things where it's like, are you gonna die or not, man? But on the other hand, it's like, I can't be mad at them bringing him back. He's a great villain. Even when he calls Sosuke the wrong name repeatedly. Okay, so Sosuke has been around the world a lot.
Of many names.
Yeah, because he's been in other countries or whatever. And when he was in the Middle East, he had the name Kashim. So Garin calls him Kashim, Kasim, Kasim, and then finally landing on Kashim.
After the first time, even though he calls him Kashim the first time, he calls him those other 3 in between.
Yeah, so I've got nothing for that. Either way, Garin's still a fun antag, though, despite the dub silliness. Alright, few more. Next, we have Kyoko, Koname's best friend, voiced by Monica Riel, the 302nd voice of Bulma, and Uzaki from Uzaki-chan. And hey, she doesn't do bad here. Surprisingly, I know.
The character that's barely there?
Hey man, everyone quoted the Konami thing she does, to be fair. We all did it. Don't lie to me. Everyone did it. But yeah, she's
the
typical...
most important thing about Konami is her alarm clock.
Yeah, that calls her name and is like, get up, Konami. But yeah, so I think my exchange with Kyoko, or my favorite exchange with Kyoko and Konami is in the first episode, though, to be honest. When Koname's like, why'd you set me up on that blind date? The guy was a moron! And Kyoko's like, well, you know, someone asked me to do it, so I figured I would. Koname's like, well, if someone asked you to sell me to a third world country, would you do it? Well, probably. It's like, what the fuck? Best friends for life.
Some people were born special.
But yeah. Kyoko's just your typical bubbly best friend, Kun. And I can't say I hated her performance as this one for once. But yeah. After her, we have one of the other school people, Shinji. Again, this mecha did come out after Evangelion, and yes, I will point out some of the silliness with that you could take as references or nods. This being one of them. Shinji, though, is voiced by Greg Aris. Wait, I thought we were going to make a joke about that or something.
What are you? What you thought he was going to say? Spike?
No, that's later. And one of the other two people we've left. Goto from DBZ Kai and Goto from Dead Man Wonderland. Remake that show already. And again, Shinji's he's a giant tech nerd for the ASs. That's basically his whole shtick. So he befriends
more screen
Sosuke.
time in Fumofu.
Yeah. Oh, there's that at least. Now, two characters left, and then we'll be done and just go over a couple of the dub silliness. So first we have Takuma, who's, I guess, the main antag villain of the second arc. Now that is voiced by Spike Spencer, who's Shinji from Eva. And I know exactly why they casted him as this character, because of course. So, anyone who's seen Eva, tell me if this sounds familiar. At one point, he's reluctant to get into the mech until a relative of his says, "You'll be useless to me if you don't pilot the damn thing." Which ultimately makes him convinced to get inside of it because notice me senpai, please. If anyone says spoilers, that literally happens in the first episode of Eva. That's literally just Shinji.
That's your opinion.
So, yeah. And again, it's Spike. He's fucking great. I'm a mark for Spike. Don't judge me. He also voices a bunch of one-off characters, too. Oh, I should mention everyone but Vic, Lucy, and Chris are all one-off characters and ad voices. So the double casting's fucking insane here.
Yes, that means he does play every side.
Yep. But yeah, he does good. The last thing I want to go into real quick before any of the miscellaneous shit is the silly accents. I mean, I call them silly, but honestly, I admire the effort they had tried. Some of them do sound better than others, clearly. And one I did see people praise was the character Gray. That was the squad leader that Sosuke worked with, if you remember, in episode 15 or 7. Yeah, she's voiced by Christine Otten, who you don't know as Teacher from Full Metal Alchemist, or Izumi if you'd prefer. And I do agree she does have one of the better accents that when people put them on. Because, yeah, they range from being hilarious to actually okay, especially for the time.
Much like the dialogue choices.
Yeah, so... I don't know. She did good as well. Now, as far as miscellaneous stuff, well, it's a couple of things, like Lucy Christian in the episode preview for episode 9, calling it episode 8 again. So 2 Ep 8s in a row, according to Kaname. Someone didn't catch that, evidently. I mean, Tessa's singing is dubbed, which a dubbed singing in an ADV dub? That's fucking rare as hell.
Tessa and Kaname.
Yeah, and that's rare as fuck, man. You also get Kurtz imitating Tessa's voice and sounding like Elmo. It is literally just straight up Elmo.
I can't believe you waifu'd Elmo.
Oh, yeah. Again.
Now you know what he sounds like as Elmo.
Yes, you get that. Everyone just had a lot of fun with this dubcast. In fact, upon researching this, apparently one of the lead people behind the creation of the anime legit showed the Japanese staff when the dub came out, the English dub, and praised that version heavily, almost implying he prefers it to their own Weebanese version. So, yeah, take that with what you will. I mean, in all fairness, the dub is pretty solid, especially for ADV. What, you know ADV's dubs can range from silly to, well, silly.
Silly to really silly.
Exactly. But yeah. I guess that's really it. Unless you have anything else to say on the subject,
It's okay, we'll be covering the best season soon.
Oh, we didn't even talk about the Lambda driver. So yeah, that's the last thing we'll cover real quick. What makes these mechs different is the Lambda driver programs installed in some of them, and
only some people can use it.
It converts thoughts and emotions more or less into energy. Kind of like the AT fields from the Ava unit mechs in Evangelion. Yeah, you get the idea.
That's because Gurren can use one, that's probably one of the only reasons he's kept around.
Yeah.
Other than that, because if that's not the reason, then all those other countries are extremely incompetent to not realize he's been betraying everyone.
Yeah. But, so, TLDR and FMP, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. Don't want to spoil anything for it, but I think it's good. I think the comedic episodes are hilarious, and the character moments when shit gets serious is also alright, too. I still really enjoy the show. This is a lot of people's favorite season, but who knows? Maybe the other seasons will be better. We'll find out, because yes, we're going to cover all of them. Probably not back-to-back. We'll cover the one more season now, and then the rest later.
The best season.
Yep.
The season where the comedic stuff was turned up to 11, and it was done, and it was the first anime done by KyoAni.
Yep, more on that though next time. As far as MVP for this dub, ADV itself for actually putting out a really solid dub that even the weebanies can appreciate. So, good job, ADV.
No matter how silly some of the dialogue got due to their ADV-ness.
And the dub fuck-ups. Oh, we didn't even say that! Okay, sorry, just saw this. Greg actually calls Sosuke Sasuke.
Yeah.
That was one too. I almost missed that. Which, being as how Greg voiced Sasuke in Goemon, and that came out the same year, maybe he had that on the brain at the time. I don't fucking know.
He said his own name a lot. He must have talked in the third person.
But yeah, so. But outside of like, the dub mess-ups, you have to pay really close attention to catch them, to be fair. So I wouldn't be surprised to... Like, I didn't even remember these from the first time we watched this years ago.
Yeah. You're just lucky I was there to catch it for magical welfare.
Oh yeah, that was... We're not talking about that, though. We're talking about a good show. Yeah, so if you like even, you know, if you like mecha, military shit, espionage, conspiracy, or if you like rom-com stuff, the series has it all, and it actually does an okay job blending it together, all things considered.
Or if you miss when stuff actually had good animation and didn't look like Orient.
Hey, there's still good anime coming out today. Look at Chainsaw Man. Look at Demon Slayer guy.
But you're comparing that. You're comparing that to Mappa.
You know what I mean, though.
That's not fair.
Besides, animation isn't everything, because as we've seen. But well, again, getting off topic here. Point is, if you want to watch the show, go check it out. It's a great show. Season 1's fucking solid. Still holds up. And yeah.
But you all really want us to cover Fumofu, the best season.
Yep. Join us next time, because we're going to try having one more out by the end of March. And that is Full Metal Panic Fumofu. So, hope you all join us for that. Thanks again for watching. Like, comment, all that stuff, please. Really appreciate it. Let us know if you agree and all that. Until next time, thanks again for watching. Until next time, guys.